All right, it's the start of a new week here at Provo. Jan's been busy over the weekend. Let me turn the camera around and show you what's been going on. Okay, so he has got this lower panel in, and he's got this cover over the oil cooler. But to put this panel in, you have to take off the leading edge, the intake scoop, because it has fingers that go on top of the frame there. So this one has to go in first, and then this one. And then we're still waiting for hardware, but the panels are in place. Now I got to go over to the other side and take off that leading edge so that we can get these two panels installed. So stand by. All right, so I got this all loosened up. So now we need to go in, and where this seal is right there, I need to put some lubricant so it'll slide back in, and in the meantime, now we can get this lower cover in place. Then we can put it all back together again, and hopefully it goes well. Okay, here's the panel that's got to go on here. And so we'll get that up in there. First, again, like I said, we're going to lube this up, and we'll get this in place and see what it's going to take to get it all back together again. So stand by. Okay, so these are the intake tubes to go to the oil cooler, which is underneath this panel right here. And those are the original seals, boots, whatever you want to call them, to make the interface between the tubes going to the oil cooler. The oil cooler sits right in here, and these little white tunnels, those go directly into the oil cooler. Now this lip right there has to go in that seal. Well, these seals are unobtainium. These are the original seals, so I've lubed them up really well, so hopefully this will go back together without any pain. When we got the oil coolers overhauled years ago, we put them back in place and put the seals in here along with the leading edge, so they would remain in a state of so they would stay together without having to try to find new ones, because that ain't going to happen. We wanted to keep them stable so they wouldn't shrink. So we'll get this lower skin on here, and the real drag is you got to put this lower skin on first and then put the leading edge on, and so you're doing all of this seal work by braille. So anyway, let's see how this goes. I'll get back to you. Something else I wanted to mention here over the noise, they're doing another hangar across the street, so it's kind of noisy today. This is a spar cap that OnMark devised to strengthen up the spars, and so this skin has to slide in on top of the original spar between the new spar cap. So one of the things that's interesting that they did, so Douglas had done these as countersunk screws. When OnMark changed them up, they put spacers to fill the holes, so there wasn't a big gap between with the countersink and then the spar cap. Okay, so we'll get started putting this in. All right, it's Wednesday, and working on getting the screws. We've got a hardware package today, so let me show you. So starting to put all these screws in on the Spar cap. Then we're going to come back and do the rest of these screws. And let me put this on time-lapse and we'll get her done. I broke a bit. I got to the last screw, and when I went to put it in, it went clear up in. Well, what happened is there's a track that are a bunch of nut plates in here, and that dang nut popped out of the track. So basically, had to take all these screws all the way around, back out, take the panel down, so that we could reintroduce that nut into the track. This is the kind of track that we're talking about. And once the screws are in it, it's fine. But if they come loose, if the track gets a little loose or pushed too hard, then you can pop these nut plates out. So that's what happened in this case, and now all the screws are in. It's just a matter of tightening them up. So we'll get that done. Well, so in an effort to get everything down while I was gone yesterday, Jan got the covers on the oil tanks pretty well down. Still have a couple of things to do on that, but both covers are essentially on. So now we're back underneath working on skins down there. These skins are going to come real soon. And we need to spec the hardware for the wing root fairings. Getting closer. Well, we've got some more screws in panels. We're going to keep working. It's a slow process, making sure we have the right hardware and the right holes. And it's looking great. And we're really working hard to get this thing buttoned up out of the hanger. I appreciate you watching. You guys check in next week. We'll see how much further we get. I sure appreciate you watching my videos. If you wouldn't mind popping a like and sharing my videos out, I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a nice weekend. But anyway, this strap right here was a spar strengthener that they maybe he'll go to lunch. Anyway,